In this video, I'm going to provide an overview of the Business Continuity Plan object and its capabilities within the BCM solution in OpenPages. So from my menu, I can go to Business Continuity Plans here. I get taken to the Business Continuity Plan grid view, and I would like to see this record here as my example. So with all views within OpenPages, these views can be configured, they can be customized for the particular needs that you may have. I have a separate video published on views and the view designer that gets into the way in which you can add new fields and customize views. So please feel free to take a look at that video for more information on that. For what I'm showing here, we have our business continuity plan record with its name, its version number, the purpose of the plan. In this example, I'm reviewing a payroll process to ensure that we have a plan in place so that our payroll process in this example is able to continue despite a disruptive event occurring. We have our description, our objective, scope, status. The status is changed throughout the course of the workflow that we have provided out of the box for users. That workflow is assigns stages within the workflow based on the users identified as the owner, reviewer, and approver of the record, which is listed here. So I'm going to show the out-of-the-box workflow for business continuity plans. That's what we have here. For a new business continuity plan record, it goes through this portion of the workflow. It goes to in progress. Its stage is assigned to the user who is the author. Then it goes to the reviewer, and then the approver. And during these stages, the status of the business continuity plan is updated automatically. If you look at the operation, we'll see status for submitted approval. So that's occurring in each of these stages. Once the approver has signed off on the plan, it then closes the workflow. Now, if a plan is already in existence, we have this workflow running on a scheduled basis so that based on the scheduled period of time that you have listed, it will come up for renewal for review. And when that happens, it goes through this other portion of the workflow process, where in this stage the owner looks at the business continuity plan and determines if it is in a status that can be approved, and if no changes need to be made, then it goes to the approver and the workflow ends. On the other hand, if changes do need to be made to the business continuity plan, it will take this route into the workflow, and when this occurs, the workflow gets placed into a locked status for this. In this instance, it's version 1 of the business continuity plan. So version 1 gets locked, and then information from version 1 gets copied into a new record of version 2, and then that version 2 goes through the process right here into in progress, in review, and approval. And once that version 2 is approved, its status gets changed to published, and the status of the previous version, version 1, gets moved into a retired status. So once a business continuity plan is in place and approved, you should have a business continuity plan that is published, that can be searched and found and used until it's been replaced by another version. So that is the out-of-the-box workflow. The workflow can be adjusted and changed as necessary. I have a separate video on that process and how you can do that. So if you would like more detail on that, please check out that other video. So also within our summary section, we have a business continuity focal. So that would be the unit, the business unit executive or owner who's responsible for executing the plan at their particular location. So that person may want to be notified of changes to the status of the plan, which they can achieve by being a subscriber or overseer of the workflow or a stage within the workflow. So then we also have assumptions being made as part of this plan. So that is available within that assumption section. And then we have our additional plan details portion of the business continuity plan record. As I've been providing demos to clients and prospective clients, there seems to be two different ways of approaching how to provide the information for a business continuity plan. One method is to place all the information from the plan onto the record itself. We can achieve that in this method by having long string field available for users. Users could also, because you can modify views, could change different sections of the view here to be different sections of their plan if they needed to, and place all that information directly on the record. The other method is to attach different documents to this record for instances when they don't want all of the information on the record itself. So in this instance, we have a communication plan that we have attached down here, and that's made available. So if you click this icon here, you can download that communication plan, and it can open up in your Word document in this instance. So that's available also as an alternative method for how you want to provide information on your business continuity plan. Moving on down, we also have publication details, so the due date, issue date, and approval date, next review date, which are being adjusted in the workflow. And then we have the ability to download a report of the information provided in the system view of the business continuity plan record. It looks something like this, where all that information is available for the user to place into a document and print off if they need to. We also have scenarios that we've provided out of the box based on the consultations we've had with our internal team. We have 4 different scenarios: workplace unavailability, workforce unavailability, IT unavailability, and regional disaster. So instead of trying to categorize every plan for any potential event that may be occurring or will occur in the future, the result of the event is really the primary focus here. So most events can be placed within one of these 4 or multiple scenarios. So in this instance, I have a workplace unavailability scenario, and then we have the different fields available for each scenario, where we have the decision to invoke the plan in the event of a workplace unavailability scenario, the recovery procedures, communication requirements, alternative site information, key applications, any special equipment that needs to be taken into account, records, key clients and vendor contact information, and then any additional details. And as I've stated previously, additional fields can be added here as needed, or additional scenarios if needed as well. And then moving on down, we have the associations that are made to our business continuity plan. So in this instance, we have a business entity of ABC Financial Institution that's related to this plan. We have the different processes. So if I open up the sidebar here, you can see the information from this process. This is another record within Open Pages, and based on how you construct the view for the process record, this is the information that will display. So if you added additional fields, then those additional fields would display here for you to see. So here you can see, we can see the status, we could see the last time it was approved, we could see the maximum acceptable outage that was determined from the business impact analysis performed on this process, the different risks involved, and the controls. If I click on any of these records here, we can pull up that record as a full view here as well. So quite a bit of information just to couple of clicks away from the user, so that business continuity manager can get that information that they need to ensure that they have a plan in place to make sure that these processes are going to be up and running in the event of a disruptive event. We also have a location object and an event object that can be associated with the plan. So if I look at the event object is where the events that would be potentially disruptive to your organization can be placed within Open Pages. So in this event, I have one here for a blizzard that affected a location at the Chicago office. So if I go to my location, you can see that we have the business continuity plans related to that location right here. So I can pull up those plans that would be impacted by this event at this location. And then if I go to my relationship tree view, you can see those relationships displayed in this manner. So a way in which you can see how this event comes in, it's impacting this location, and here's the business continuity plan that's impacted, and then I can pull it up here. Or you could do it by business entity. If you had a business entity, you could link that business entity to the event and then the entity to the plan, and pull up the information in a slightly different way. So that's one way we can see the impact that could occur from an event onto linking to the plan itself. So as I scroll down a little further to show the remaining associations that can be made, we have our policies, our procedures linked to our plan, and then we also have the testing, just a vital component of business continuity management. You can have multiple tests listed here, and I have a separate video on testing that gets into more detail on the test plan as well as the test result object. And then we also have the business impact analysis that we have associated here, and I have another video on business impact analysis if you want to see more information on that. And then the teams that are associated to this plan. So we have a communications team in this example and a crisis management team. If I go down to my tree view, I can see those teams related to that plan. I can pull up the employees that are related to that plan. And if I click on here, I can see the side view of that particular employee. I can also see if there's any other plans related to this team that could be useful information to have. So with that addresses the business continuity plan object. Thank you for your time.